use TikTok, and it created pandemonium. Users started flocking to rival social networks. So in recent months, what we've seen is a process whereby TikTok was given a deadline to divest or face a ban. And in January 19th, TikTok actually took itself offline in the United States. So it completely went down voluntarily because it had not been sold off. And users in the US, 170 million of them, could not use TikTok. And it created pandemonium. Users started flocking to rival social networks, Chinese-owned social networks such as RedNote. But in under a day, the US government then brought TikTok back. They gave TikTok an extension of 75 days until April the 5th.
You are here because the American people need the truth about the threat TikTok poses to our national and personal security.
We do not promote or remove content at the request of the Chinese government.
The question is, the question is, are you 100% certain that they cannot use your company to promote such messages?
It is our commitment to this committee and all our users that we will keep this free from any manipulation by any government.
If you can't.
On this vote, the yeas are 352, the nays are 65.
Thank you. TikTok is a threat to our national security because it is owned by ByteDance, which does the bidding of the Chinese Communist Party. We know this because ByteDance leadership says so and because Chinese law requires it. This bill therefore forces TikTok to break up with the Chinese Communist Party.
Is TikTok listening to me through my phone? And these are some of the concerns that brought about the initiative that's happening right now with a deadline of April 5th, 2025. So according to multiple reports, the potential new owner of the US part of TikTok will be Oracle. Now, Oracle is a very well-established, pretty old technology company. It's a data infrastructure company. So Oracle is mainly known as holding data on vast servers. And the deal is, according to sources, going to be about Oracle looking after the data security of US TikTok users. And that was really the chief concern of the Trump administration, which is bringing about this forced divestiture, this forced sale. There are concerns about not just the data privacy, but about what people see using TikTok. And according to reports, TikTok will still own the algorithm, and that's mixing up what people see. So the content and the influence of content on US users and global users potentially will still be owned by TikTok. And that raises different concerns.
Oh, there you go, loading. Biryani.
A potentially different scenario could be brought about either through a full switch over of TikTok's US infrastructure, for example, the algorithm moving across as well as the data. Now, if that happens, then TikTok users could be faced with a completely different look and feel on TikTok, different content recommendations, different user recommendations. And if users are shown a different version of TikTok, there could be as much uproar as there is if TikTok comes down altogether.
You guys want to see something cool? Watch this. Someone please tell me how it's 2020.
The other potential outcome here is that TikTok and the US do not reach a deal, and TikTok has to come offline again. And what we saw last time was users flooding to other social networks. Many others exist. Many alternatives do exist currently. Instagram, YouTube, just to name a couple. But in protest, back in January 2025, when this happened last, we actually saw TikTok users in the US flooding to other Chinese-owned social networks in protest. RedNote, which has 300 million global users, was one of the main beneficiaries of this. can see about US people using TikTok and what have they got on their phones, their user behaviors, their not only just their TikTok usage. We must realize also that TikTok is currently banned in many places. So there are current US government departments such as the Department of Homeland Security, which bans TikTok from official devices. But also many countries have banned TikTok. India banned TikTok in 2020. And as a result, locally grown social media platforms that have rivaled TikTok, but that emulate that user experience.
यूएस ने ये बिल निकाला है कि टिकटॉक वहाँ बैन होने वाला है। हमारे जैसे काफी सारे कंटेंट क्रिएटर्स हैं वहाँ पर। आई नो ट्रैवल से हटकर है, बट इसके बारे में बात करना भी जरूरी है।
The bigger picture here, it's about the users, not about the government and not about the data. And that's where I think this deal will fall short. And that's what I think is going to be the more important factor moving into the future, is looking after user safety and not just thinking of user privacy.
Okay.
Will you extend, if a TikTok deal is not made on the timeline you gave, will you extend that?
Probably, yeah.
You will? Or is
I
that
think, look, we have a lot of interest in TikTok. And China is going to play a role. And so hopefully China will approve of the deal. But they're going to play a role. But we have a lot of interest in TikTok.
How long would you extend it, and how close are you to a deal?
Well, we'll see. But if I need, I don't, right now we have at least another month, so we don't need an extension. But if I needed an extension, I'd probably get it extended. Yeah, but our country's next week or the week after, a massive new program for building very large, the largest ships in the world. Down, champions!